Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to the Toon Review. Tonight, it is, of course, the preview for the Manchester United game, which is, of course, on Sunday, kick-off at 2 p.m. at the Theatre of Horrors. Now, obviously, we know that Danielle has been very diplomatic in the past regarding her feelings towards the club that we will be taking apart on Sunday. But I think that diplomacy may be out of the window for this show. Or over this weekend, I think it's fair to say. Now, apologies, first of all, because obviously we haven't been on a show since Monday night. Monday night, I wasn't too grand, I have to say, but I felt okay. Tuesday, both presenters of the fan forum were men down. Billy unfortunately had a bug which affected the inner stomach lining. And we're talking toilet paper in the fridge kind of stuff. So there was no way he could do it, and I was flat out with concussion after stupidly banging my head on a door frame over the weekend. Dizziness and sickness, so it wasn't great. So we couldn't have put a show together at all because, well, Danielle and Stato aren't familiar with StreamYard and they don't want to host. So it's very, very, we couldn't have done it. Simple as that. Simple as that. But the foursome is back tonight. And of course, we're looking forward to the weekend where we take on the Manx of United. I'd just like to say, I tuned into John's fan forum earlier on and John wasn't there. And I thought, oh, has he gone to Turkey yet? And he was like, Tony's presenting it, and John's on Maisie's channel talking about the Man United game.
Tony presented on Saturday as well.
I knew he did Saturday, but I thought you're going off your channel to do another channel. He's some guy. He is some guy, is John Sinclair. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, how are we? Are we all now fighting fit?
Fighting fit rather than fighting
Yes. You can tell us all about those horrors on TDI Friday, no doubt.
Oh, God.
We'll have that to look forward to, of course. But as usual, guys, if you do enjoy tonight's show, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel and, of course, you enjoy what you see, hit that subscribe button, which is free to do so. And, of course, the bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. You can donate to the channel if you wish tonight by hitting that $ at the bottom of the live comments. And you can join the Toon Review, become a member. If you hit that join button just underneath the video, or if you're on good old iOS, you'll have to go across to Instagram, find the Toon Review on there, click the link, and Bob's your uncle. It will take you to a desktop version of YouTube where you can become a member. So it's a bit more complicated on iOS, but that's the beauty of iOS. It's always got to be different. Anyway, how are you feeling about the game, Danielle? Obviously, it's on Sunday, so it's, listen, this is our biggest opportunity to win down there for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm feeling cool as a cucumber. Not worried at all. Not one little bit.
Wow.
I mean, the only thing we're going to have slight concern over is Ronaldo and maybe Anthony. But other than that, I'm not worried. Not worried at all.
Thing is, Stato, Ronaldo's got this thing over Newcastle where he certainly likes a goal against us, doesn't he? But he may not well, Martial's injured, isn't he? So the likelihood is that Ronaldo's going to start.
Potentially. I mean, he's starting tonight in the Europa League. The game's on Sunday. He is 37.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Alanga and Sancho not playing, so they could potentially rotate. They could try Rashford centrally. He may or may not play. It's going to be a toss-up between 4 or 5 players as to whether they continue to Sunday or don't. So we'll have to wait and see.
Billy, what's your early feelings?
Really positive. Really positive. Yeah, I just think that Man United aren't what they used to be. They're yesterday's men, and we're tomorrow's men with a bit of today added in. So
well said, Billy Tree.
All very interesting take.
Positivity.
Indeed. Right, let's see what we've got in the comments early doors. Adam, how are you, lads? Best wishes from the USA, buzzing about this game. Eddie's got the boys moving in the right direction. Magpies fly in Old Trafford. He also says, can't wait for the show. TTR is class. Thank you very much. Diane, good evening. Cannot wait to see what the lads can do this weekend. Mary, good evening to you. Mary's also saying, Adam, you took the words right of my mouth. Can't wait for TTR. It's a chilly one in the south, but been a lovely day on the whole. Okay, they're just talking about the weather. Logan, good evening. Truls, good evening to you. Carlos, good evening. Adam says, any news on Isak? Well, I guess we'll get more from Eddie. Well, I say we'll get more from Eddie Howe in the press conference. Yeah, we may not get more from Eddie Howe in the press conference. However, I'm led to believe on the vine of grapes, and as you well know, we're not in the know here, but this is just on the grapevine that he could be on the bench. But we already knew that a couple of weeks ago. So there is a
mid-October was the suggested return date, so it's mid-October-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, look, if he's there, he's there. If he's not, obviously still injured. So it's just the way it is. But we will have to do without him. I do think there'll be changes from the game against Brentford, but you never know with Eddie. Steve Martin, wasn't he an actor?
Mm-hmm. Everyone here on the team.
I know, it's mental. Even at all, for me, no contest in Bruno versus Fernandes. Bruno, the better player, easily. I look at the United team, and I'd only take Anthony and maybe Rashford. Funny how times have changed. 2-0 to the Toon, says Steve. Keith says, evening also, looking forward to the Man U game. I think we can take them if we go for it. Ken, good evening. Hi, TTR family. Hope all fit and well. I'll take a replay on Sunday of the result in 1972. A Toon win, 2-0. Barraclough and Tudor, the scorers. Stewie was a very good friend of mine. Was at my wedding in 1977. I was 1 year old. Yeah. Kamal, a very good evening, everyone. And to you. We have an $8.99 super chat in from Zishan. Thank you for your continued support, Zishan. I just can't wait for Sunday. Actually, for the first time in years, I know we are going to batter them at their ground. Wow.
I love
it. Yeah. Up the A1, good evening. Hi, everyone. Hope all is well. Seems a long time since Monday's show. Looking forward to this one. Yeah. I mean, it probably felt like a million years for Billy. I didn't actually know where the hell I was on during the week, so I wasn't too bad. But for Billy,
no one knew I was.
To sprint. Oh dear. Gareth, good evening. Geordie Metal, good evening. Ian, good evening to you as well. Chipper says, congratulations to Danielle. Is the wedding at Old Trafford? Yes.
Absolutely,
Danielle.
blooming not.
Yes, we do have an announcement here on the Toon Review. I didn't realize that I didn't know if you wanted it announced, but now Chip has broke he snapped the envelope basically. Danielle, would you like to tell everyone what happened?
That happened.
Mm-hmm. And did Lee do the one knee thing? Did he?
No.
Oh, come on, Lee.
No, not for me. I don't like public, situations.
Indeed.
No.
But was it emotional, Danielle?
Well, it was. We're at Northumberland, yeah. We went right to the very top where we love to go.
Yeah.
And after he'd popped the question, this man started singing opera.
Oh.
At the bottom. I mean, it was just by coincidence, but what a moment. I was like,
it wasn't the goal compare man, was it?
Well, no, but he was better.
He definitely chucked him a $5.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Lee's
he definitely gave him a tenner.
Yeah. Oh, nice one, Billy. Yeah, a tenner. Yeah. Keith says it has been an amazing week since the Brentford win. Seems like the whole world is talking about Bruno. Indeed, they are.
Keep their hands off him and all.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Danielle, a massive congratulations to you. I mean, we've already said it many times, but it is fantastic news for you and Lee. And we are chuffed. And obviously, me and Susan engaged, you and Lee engaged. Alex. Yeah.
No comment.
He's like, move on.
Then we just need to find Billy Bob a bride.
No, my toilet was engaged all day Tuesday, so that was
all right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we'll move on, Billy. Yeah. Ken says, I played with and against Stewie Barraclough over a number of years in the 70s and 80s. Can anyone guess the sport? And he wasn't bad at this either. Well, Billy, you'll probably know this.
I don't know. I haven't got a clue, but I know one thing. Had Joe Harvey selected Stuart Barrowclough in the FA Cup final '74, we may have come out a little bit better. But he played in every round and was dropped for the final for some reason.
Wow. Okay. We've got cricket, table tennis, people guessing. I'm sure he'll let us know. Geordie Toon for life. Good evening, lads and lasses. Really looking forward to giving Man United a good game on Sunday, as some of their fans are underestimating us, which is good for us, as we'll show them how good we really are. Listen, let them fans underestimate us at their peril. Spike, good evening, matey. Hope you're well. John's back doors causing has come for a visit. Si, evening all. Hope everyone's still flying high on the back of the Brentford game. Adam's back with evening from Massachusetts. Go on, Billy. You're dying to do it.
No, I'm not. I can't do the Bee Gees. Sorry.
Okay.
So excited to the Bee Gees.
Yeah. So excited to catch a live show. Bruno has been everywhere this week, and deservedly so. Is that a good or a bad thing, Danielle?
Good. I think it's good. But then I suppose I don't want anyone coming in like vultures. And swooping down and grabbing him in January in the summer. He's not for sale. Absolutely not. He's like the cherished one. He must stay at all costs. Even if I have to, like, you know, get the Toon Review camper van and go and swipe him somewhere and take him somewhere. Like, I know that's technically a criminal offence, but hey ho, we'll do what we have to do.
We'll scratch over that.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's good that he's getting some recognition for everything that he's done. I mean, he's an absolutely outstanding player. He's just amazing in everything that he does. So good for him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's great that he's getting noticed, but the good thing is, Alex, we're not that team that has to worry about selling players anymore, are we? So you know, it's fantastic that we've got a Newcastle United player out there now who's thought of one of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, he's just about to turn peak age, and he's playing outrageously good football, and still has, you know, he's still not potentially he's not at his highest skill ceiling yet. Potentially a lot of room for improvement, which is phenomenal. And it's, you know, at this moment in time, we can whack such a high price on his head that if somebody's stupid enough to try and buy him, it's win-win for us. We either keep one of the best midfielders we've ever had at the club, or somebody's going to give us the biggest wad of cash we've ever had at the club. So it's win-win either way. I don't want him to go, but if somebody offers 150 odd million, like a Declan Rice price tag, then they will probably take that. I don't want them. I'd rather have the legend and the personality, because it means a lot more, as I'm sure most would agree. But it's win-win for us.
He's going to be here for years to come. I really do, and I think maybe back end of his career he might fancy a jaunt with Madrid or someone like that. But the mainstay of his career with us.
We could still get another 4 years out of him, and he could still move to another club at 29, and you know, he could still have a 5-year stint with us and do really well. And before he moves, I mean, realistically, a lot of youngsters from Brazil, they grow up enjoying Latin football, Spanish football. So maybe he does want to play somewhere else at some point in his career. I want at least five-ish years out of him, so he can help us get to, you know, where the project is meant to be taking us to, which is European football and trophy challenging. And then once we're kind of there or thereabouts, he might just want to stay to push on anyway, because, you know, as a player, these are all competitive sort of winners. Is he going to want to take us 90% of the way through the project and then go to like Madrid, or would he want to stay and win those first few trophies and play? So it will be an interesting decision for our top players to make, because presumably we'll have some more of them by that point. So they're all going to have to sort of say, "Ooh, shall we try and win it with the project we've built, or shall we sidestep and win it with somebody who's already built?" It'll be an interesting point when we actually get to it.
It will. Troll says, I'm a bit nervous for the Man U match, but hope we smash them.
I am as well, actually. Everybody seems very confident.
Well, that's because I've been listening to Danielle all the time.
I just think we're in the best spot we've ever been in, like, for a long time.
You predicted the correct score last weekend, if I do not mistake myself.
I think we're in the best shape. I would agree with that. I'm just a little bit frustrated that Man U have had a chance to get their tat together.
They're still not playing great, though, Alex, to be fair. They're not...
a little bit better. I'm frustrated that we didn't get to play them in the last 2 months. And now they've bought all their huge players. They've had time to gel.
But I think it's a case of we are now in a position where, you know, Man United will probably fear playing us, because of the form we're in, the players that we have available. Man United won't take us lightly this time. That you're guaranteed of that. And I think it's going to be a tremendous
lot of the new
game.
Players won't care. I think like Ronaldo, Anthony, Casemiro, and then like Martinez, a lot of those are either new or fearless winners anyway. I think players like that won't care. We've just got to hope that lots of sort of McTominay, Fred, and Shaw's turn up and are really nervous.
Well, McTominay
they'll be nervous. Yeah, he's suspended, isn't he? But
but listen, we've got
stopped after can't play.
You what, Bill?
You could have stopped after can't play. McTominay can't play. He's shit.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And we've got Botman.
We've got Botman. We've got Cher. We've got
Nicholas Pope.
Trippier. We've got Nicholas Pope. We've got Callum Wilson. We've got ASM. We've got Miggy. Look, we've got players that are on form, and I'm really looking forward to the game. I'm not sort of sitting there thinking, oh, I'm going to be commentating on a game where you get battered in, because that's not going to happen. I genuinely, I think. Listen, I think the whole mindset of Eddie going down there, despite the fact he says, I want to win every game, but if he comes away with a point from Old Trafford, he's going to be very happy. Obviously, depending on how the game goes, if we're dominant, if we're having a lot more of the ball and create a few good chances and we don't take them and we come away with a draw, then yes, we'll be disappointed. But at the same time, coming away from Old Trafford with a point is a bonus. But I genuinely think we can go there and win the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I do too. Come on.
Exactly. Courtney Swift says, I read everyone. I hope you're all well. I really fancy us to get 3 points on Sunday. Isn't it just nice to see the fan base confident, though? How many times have we said in the past, oh, God, I'm not looking forward to this. We're going to get battered. I mean, that will probably happen, Billy, as soon as the team sheets come out, as it normally does an hour before the game. When we see what Eddie's picked and we think, oh, Christ, what's he playing for? Because he's bound to spring a surprise, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you might go with the same mantra as last week and not change the winning team, but I'd be amazed if he did. But he could do, and if he does, we've just got to trust him. He knows what he's doing. He's a manager that sticks to his word, and he sticks to his morals, and he keeps players that are doing well for him in the side.
Yeah,
there's every chance he could play the same side.
It is, but I think at the same time, I think he'll realise that the players for Manchester United, no disrespect to Fulham and Brentford, are a lot, on paper, a lot stronger. So maybe he thinks, right, Joe Linton's had a good rest, etc. ASM got, 20 minutes the other day. They're ready. They're ready to go. And I want me big players in this big game. And that would be understandable as well. Ian Fleming, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, I agree with Danielle. I am confident of getting a win. Tom says, I hope you're both feeling better now, lads. Yeah, we are. But if you see any green smoke rising from Billy's seat, then maybe things aren't quite right.
It might be green.
ADB says, good evening, you Bonnie Bunch. Jordan says, evening. I'm actually backing us to come away with something at the weekend would be bloody lovely. It would. It certainly would. Louis says, I've got my ticket for the Crystal Palace Cup game in the East Stand. Yeah, I got mine tonight. Me, Phoebe, and Ben are going to that one. So looking forward to taking the two little ones. Samsonite, good evening. Jace, good evening. When is the Cup game? It's the 9th of November, James. Tickets are, they're not available to members yet, it's just season ticket holders at the minute.
I'm not going. I'll be watching The Crown.
Danielle, seriously?
Well, I might stop for the 90 minutes and a little bit of half time if I can. Do you know what I mean? But Crown's out on the 9th.
Really? I never thought I'd hear those words.
I'm obsessed, man. I'm obsessed.
Well, I know that. Yeah. Geordie 2 for Life says, Billy, have you pinched Mr. Ferguson's nose, or is it for Christmas?
I've got a bit of a cold.
Bless you, pet.
You can't tell, Billy. Don't worry.
It's all these cold mornings, Billy. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning. Of course.
Yeah, the cold, dark mornings are coming, aren't they? Yeah. I don't envy you getting up at 5, Billy. I really don't, mate. I'm wondering what everyone's thoughts are on the rumours of changing the stadium name. Well, I was going to do a video on it today, but then I thought, no, I'll wait till this show and we can discuss that with you guys because it's interesting. So we'll come on to that in a second. Ab says, is it me or is Billy looking slimmer?
Very slimmer.
Oh my God.
Dear. Louis going on about the name change as well. Right, may as well start with that, before we go any further. I mean, what's your thoughts, Danielle? Because I'll give you mine briefly and then we'll get yours. Mine's basically that it's very, very different to what it was with Mike Ashley when he renamed it Sports Direct Arena. He named that for his own benefit, for his own cash cow, and had no interest in anything else but calling it Sports Direct, the same as his company. Now, this time around, the owners have come out and said that they are going to set meetings up with the supporters, which is a massive plus for me. And they've already said that the money is going to be reinvested into the club, for players, for facilities, etc. So therefore, we know as fans that money is going to the club, not into somebody's back pocket, as it was with Mike Ashley. So where do you stand on it, Danielle?
I'm all for it. I think if this is what we need to do in order to generate the cash, and I hate saying generate, it just reminds us of him so much, to kind of get around FFP and help us with that, then that's what we'll do. I think we'll always refer to it as St James's Park anyway. I never called St James's Park the Sports Direct Arena, ever.
No, I don't think anybody did.
So to me, it'll always be St James's Park, but it would be nice to have St James's Park still in the title. So whether that be...
Well, could you say it's something like Aramco St James's Park?
Something like that. I mean, that would be nice. Keep it in if possible. But I think you're absolutely spot on in terms of the engagement with the owners. It's not like, Mike Ashley waiting for an international break so that nobody could kick off and then doing it and then waiting the 2 weeks for us to calm down. Well, we never did, right? But, I think everything is being done the right way. So if that's what it needs to take to get that extra revenue in, then that's what we need to do. Absolutely. I'm for it.
And how about you, Alex? Where are you standing on this?
I'm less accepting of it, but I would still be okay with it under certain conditions. So they would have to be revenue, which they've stated there will be. Whenever there would be, wouldn't there? So that's by the by. And then the second one would be, I think they would have to keep St James's Park in the title. It'd have to be Aramco at St James's Park, or ex-sponsor with St James's Park, or St James's Park's sponsor. It's got to be included. It's got to be an addition. If it was to remove St James's Park entirely, then I would say no. I would rather we try and get the sponsorship from elsewhere.
I think that's fair.
So if they're willing to compromise, and sort of the trust members and fans and the owners, if they're willing to sort of give it a 50-50, then I'd be behind that. I don't think this is one thing, we can't sell our souls too much. Man City Stadium being the Etihad, that's just a brand. Their name is a brand of something else. And then their stadium isn't a stadium name. It's somebody else's brand is their stadium name. And we've got to keep the whole soul. Like, that was the whole reason they bought the club, because it's a really unique, interesting project. It's a one-club city with a lot of history and passion. That's why they wanted that. And that's why everybody thinks we were a sleeping giant who's awaking. And if we start compromising on those kinds of things, we're losing the whole point in what we were in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's got to be done. It's got to be done carefully.
Interesting, Billy.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember Mike Ashley changed. He said he was going to look for a sponsor to rename the ground to. Then said he couldn't find one, so he was just going to call it Sports Direct Arena, which was a load of bollocks. We knew it was lies. We knew it was all about him advertising again. He had a stadium full of Sports Direct advertisements and the ground called Sports Direct. That's what it was all about. This time it's different. Supporters will be consulted about it. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking if it's going to raise us money for transfers and stuff, then I think it's a hill worth dying on. As long as Daniel and Alex both said St James, and you've said yourself that St James's Park is still incorporated into the title, I'll be fine with that. And I know it's history going down the pan a little bit, but it's 2022 now. Other teams are doing it, other teams are benefiting from it. Why shouldn't we? I know it's a cathedral on the hill, but let's make some money out of the actual ground itself, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hundreds of congratulations are coming in, Danielle.
Oh,
Literally hundreds. Keith says, I'll be driving all day Sunday, headed to the Eagles-Cowboys game in Philly. That's what YouTube Premium is for. We'll have the Toon review on the whole way. Nice one, Keith.
Lovely.
More congratulations, this time from David Smith. Jim says, oh my God, congratulations, Danielle and Lee. An $8.99 super chat from David Smith. And it says, and now we go live at the Saudi Airways Stadium, where Newcastle have just won their semi-final against Barcelona and are through to the final. It might be worth it.
I mean, that's very unrealistic, Barcelona being in any semi-final, let's be completely honest.
I love the fact that you picked up on that point, Alex.
Indeed, indeed. Danielle, judging by the amount of congratulations are coming in here, I think it's going to be a very, very big Toon Review celebrated wedding, this, by the way. Just saying. Adam says, I would like to see Target in for Burn. Dan's been serviceable, but I would feel better with Target on Anthony. This has been a big debate, Alex, and, we briefly spoke about it on Monday night, and I'm in two minds. I really am. I think, the one thing that scares me about Burn against Anthony is Anthony's pace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think people are looking at this the wrong way. Entirely. I think people have completely missed the junction, the turn off completely. It's not a case of left back for left back. When Burn plays left back, it's a different role. We tried to explain this the other day, that he plays almost in between a left-sided centre-back and a left back. And especially against a stronger team, if Howe decides to go with that system, there would be huge midfield cover, whether it would be from Joe Linton or somebody. The coaching staff are not stupid. They would be hugely aware that it's a mismatch of pace. So will Burn, and they will compensate for that with wide cover, with Burn's positioning. If they start Target, fine. If they start Burn, fine. I'll trust it either way. But I'm 100% confident that they are well aware that Anthony's fast and very skillful.
Yeah.
And they will make sure they're set up appropriately. But it's not a case of Burn won't play how Target plays, and Target's not going to play how Burn plays. It's two completely different systems and setups. It just depends on whether Eddie Howe and the coaching staff think it's serviceable to use that system again, whether we are going to be dominant enough away at Old Trafford to play Burn and to play that same way we did against Brentford. Are we good enough to go away to Old Trafford and try and be dominant? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he'll be a bit more cautious. But yeah, I don't think it's as black and white as just left back versus left back, because it's the way they play are completely different. So more about system.
Well, you never know with Eddie, do you? You really don't know how he's thinking or what he's been planning for.
I think it all depends on who's playing in front of the left back. If it's Alex Maximan,
just going to say the same thing. Yeah.
If it's Maximan, I think it'll be Target. If it's Murphy again, then I think we'll see Burn.
That's also a big factor.
Interesting. Yeah. Thomas Nielsen, good evening, buddy. Evening, everyone. What a game to return to Newcastle to for me last weekend. Good to finally meet you, Paul and Alex. Yeah, great to see you as well, matey. And hope you had a decent trip back. Zishan, thank you for your 179 super chat with congratulations, Danielle, on it. Up the Mag says, since Jacob Murphy scored, do you think Eddie Murphy?
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, my God.
My head's still sore. My head's still sore.
Big Sinclair.
Wow.
Where's
Since
Jason?
Jacob Murphy scored, do you think Eddie will drop him and bring Maxi in, or do you think Eddie won't change the team?
I think
Billy?
he'll play Eddie Murphy, to be honest.
Yeah, kiss me out, Alex.
I think he'll play some Maximan, if I'm perfectly honest.
I do.
I think we need more genuine threat as ever to attack their weak back line. I think Maxi gives us more than Murphy, so I think he'll play.
Yeah. Marcus covering says, evening all, 3-1 Newcastle, Bruno, Miggy and Wilson to score. This is such an important game. It'll again, Danielle, it's another one of those games that just says this is another chance to see how far we've come.
I mean, it's very serious for me. It's life or death in my life. So it's very, very serious. Matters on Sunday. So yes, it's very, very important, and I think we've got to draw from City. I think if we go out and we attack the game, and attack them and get at them and be all about them, then we can get something from it. Absolutely. And it's really important to say, this is us now. Forget about last season. Forget about what you saw. This is the Saudi mags. Do you know what I mean? And we're here and we're coming to take your place. Keep trying.
Yeah, I think the Saudi mags they seem to be offending a lot of people this week, Alex.
The Saudi mags? What do you mean?
Well, just the amount of shite that we've got because of I'm seeing so many more sports washing and all this garbage again on social media, and real saltiness.
I'm not really bothered about it, to be honest. It's the same as what 3, 4, 5 clubs do in this league. It's no different to what people do in other leagues. It is important to talk about these issues, but it definitely feels like very top heavy towards us being attacked. And at the end of the day, what do they want? Do they want hundreds of thousands of people to just abandon a club that they've potentially supported all their life? Like, what do they want us to do? We acknowledge that there might be issues.
The biggest hypocrite of them all, Alex, is Mr. Gary Neville, who has since come out and said that he wants the owners to face these questions, yet he's just signed a deal with Qatar.
Well, I mean, you can go even deeper than that with the Man United money that's coming in from Saudi Arabia as well. Why is that not mentioned to them? And, you know, his question is fair if the right questions are asked about his business and what he's financially gaining from something equally as questionable, and his own club as well in Man United. So it's a fair question if it's going to be spread about fairly, but it's not. They just pick and choose, and different media outlets have got different biases and different agendas, money to make in different ways. They've got friends, and it's very unbalanced at the moment. And it'll be really interesting to see if in 5 or 10 years, if maybe they back off us and they praise us, because obviously for the longest of time, Man City got absolutely ripped, and for 3 or 4 years, it's not really been that way anymore. It's been, they play wonderful football, this great style, and Guardiola, and look what he's done, and they play magical liquid football. You don't hear that much slagging off of them anymore, possibly on social media by normal people, but they don't really get called out anymore on that. It's kind of disappeared.
Because they've got somebody else to have a go at now.
Well,
which is just the way we're going to have to put up with it. Paul Gallant thinks we'll win 3-0 on Sunday. That's optimistic. Ian says, do you guys think Longstaff should start in place of Joe Linton on Sunday? Billy, how are you feeling about that?
I think it's a tough one. No, I don't think so. I think he'll bring Joe Linton back in.
I have a feeling that we will as well.
As for the Saudi sports watching thing, it's a sign that we're doing well. Because if we were doing shite,
exactly. Yep. And they're terrified. They're absolutely terrified of a new player in the Big Six.
As they should be.
Absolutely. As they should be.
Yeah, the punditry's been awful, let's be honest. It's gone from, I mentioned this the other day, didn't I? About how we've gone from what was it? 1-1 at Brent. What was the Brentford score? 1-1? Yeah, 1-1. Sorry, not Brentford. Bournemouth, yeah. Bournemouth score. It went from Eddie Howe's only won 1 game. Oh dear, the season. Oh, it's not and then 2 games later, it's oh my God, they might challenge. Are they going to be Champions League contenders? Oh my God, it's 2 games. It's 2 games difference. The media coverage is just abysmal. It's
What's your thoughts on the black and grey kit, guys? Looks a bit rugby league. Listen, we don't know if it's real yet. For one, I've seen it. I looked.
Have I missed something?
Yeah, well, I saw Rob from Rubenstein. He tweeted it out. He quite likes it if it's going to be one of the strips. So, listen, we don't know. We don't know if it's real or not. I guess.
And another thing, it depends if it's going to be in the club shop or not. Because if it's not, no one's ordering it. Otherwise, we'll get it for like 25 years later.
Yeah, absolutely. Glenn says, I think Howe will make changes this time, then go back to Saturday's team against Everton on Wednesday. I think, listen, if we perform at Man United, we get a result at Man United, I think whoever gets, if he's going to drop them for the Everton game, I think that's very unfortunate. I think these players will want to keep playing. And realistically speaking, that's how injuries occur. If they're in, then they're out, then they're back in. We don't want that. We want them to be at their full pelt. And look, I want to see us play our best team possible in every league game. And I know that's like you can't have that every league game, but as much as or as close to, I want to see that for each game.
We want to batter Man United, and then we want to batter the Scouts Mackhams, don't we? So,
absolutely. The Scouts, we now have this rivalry with Everton that's came from nowhere, but we hate them. And to batter them and put a few goals past T-Rex will be absolutely fantastic. You know what I mean? So there you go. Ashley 80 says at least they can't header it in with their little forwards.
That's unfair. Ronaldo is pretty good in the air. It's one thing.
I was going to say he's like a swan when he gets
I challenge him to go to Old Trafford and try and match his jumping header game that they've got, because he jumps like a million foot in the air. Impossible.
I'm 6'5" and I couldn't challenge Ronaldo in the air. No chance.
No.
Paul Sales, good evening. Hope you're well. Julie J says, should I stick by my 9-1 prediction? Julie, if you want to stick by it, you stick by it.
It's the wrong way around, by the way. That means 9-1 to them.
You'd never see us again if that happened. Just saying.
No, not for a good length of time. Or Danielle's screen would be off for the review, and it would just be our voice.
Don't we?
Yeah. Oh my God. We'd be all presenting it with balaclavas on our head. Jesus, let's not say, let's just shut up because we know what happens with results. Michael Marsden, thank you for your 20 quid super chat, buddy. Really kind. Hi, Paul, Danielle, Billy, and Alex. Hope you're all well. We are indeed. I Like Coffee says, where are the fish in Paul's fish tank? Well, there's a few little ones in the corner there. I don't know whether you can see them on camera, but I've basically changed the fish in there, and I've now gone with a fish called Frontosa, which are lovely blue with black.
Changed the fish? Do you just rent them and give them back? How does that work?
No, I took the what. Susan's got African cichlids in her tank, right?
Okay.
And I took some to the aquarium shop in Durham, and I get a store credit for them. And
did you return them?
My God, I couldn't do that, man. That's so weird. To be like, I'm bored of my German Shepherd. Let's just swap it for a different breed.
No, it's not how it is. There was only a few, and they go to good homes. Don't worry. It's not like they get put to sleep or anything. They are fine.
Sleeping with the dishes.
But these ones are, the lovely blue colours with a black bar, 3 black bars down them, and they grow to quite a substantial size as well. But they will take your finger off. But they're very.
I'm not surprised if they're like that big.
No, they're very calm. They're very calm. I nearly did buy a jaguar today, a fish, not a cat.
Nothing meant a car.
No. It's called a jaguar, but they are ferocious. One of the most ferocious fish you can keep. And it was about a foot long, and I thought, should I get that instead? And then I thought, no, Susan's not really into predatory fish, so I went with so they'll grow. These ones will grow, and they'll grow nice. But at the minute there's only 4 of them in there. I've got another 6 coming tomorrow, and that'll make the 10. So that'll be the family of 10 in there. So. Yeah, that's where they are. I Like Coffee, so don't worry. Everyone's got good homes. Anyway, Troll says, I do think we can win, but VAR and so might just mess us up again against the crap 6.
Yeah, who's on VAR?
I actually don't know. Normally it's been announced by now, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Chad Gillett, I think it is.
And it's
no, because Pawson's refereeing, isn't he?
Pawson,
the Man United fan.
Yeah,
how does that happen? How does that happen?
Get on VAR.
Pawson's on the pitch. Pawson's the referee. How does that happen? I mean,
just got to make sure we score from open play and we continue this, because if we play well enough, it won't matter. If we score some really standard goals that they can't flag up anything for, then we just got to try and score 2 or 3.
We shouldn't even have to think like this, We shouldn't even have to think about it. It should be fair for everybody.
It's not though, is it?
Outrageous.
We do, unfortunately, don't we? Matthew says Ronaldo had no answers for us last season, and that was without Botman. Matthew, I don't know whether you saw the game against Old Trafford down there, but he got 2 goals.
Bad. Yeah, that was his debut, wasn't it? The second time.
Yeah, so to say he didn't have an impact, maybe it's St James's he didn't, but he certainly did at Old Trafford. Man United only make 2 changes from the Everton team. After 20 minutes, they're still struggling against a team from Cyprus, still 0-0, and it's not all Man United.
But will it be the same Man United side, though? Who's playing tonight?
I mean, a pretty strong side he's picked tonight, to be fair.
Ten Hag, these managers take obviously they do play quite strong teams, I've noticed now, even in the Europa League. Because you know what, they've got the Europa League now and they've got the Europa Conference. So basically, I was just thinking today, it's just like old school. It's just like old school European Cup, and then you've got the Winners' Cup and the UEFA Cup. It's just like that again, isn't it? Really?
They should be 1-up. Ammonia, they just missed a real good chance. 1-on-1. Fernandez hit the bar from about 30 yards early, but apart from that, they've been really flat. The only ones missing are Casemiro and Shaw and Eriksen, I think.
No, Casemiro's playing.
Is he playing it? So it's Shaw and Eriksen. So they're the only 2 missing. Yeah.
I've got it up on my tactics board.
I think they miss Eriksen, but not.
They're resting Varane, Shaw, Sancho, Eriksen, and McTominay is suspended. So
Sancho hasn't been playing.
So they'll probably rotate. They could rotate Alanga, Eriksen, Sancho, Shaw, Varane in, or not. They might not rotate them.
I think Varane's injured anyway, isn't he?
Is he? I think he's on the bench. So he's on the bench now.
Is he? So maybe he's fit again now. Then he was definitely injured last weekend. Dubravka's on the bench as well tonight for long.
What? Is he?
Actually getting to watch a game from.
Oh, can you imagine? No.
He can't play against us, Danielle.
Oh yes, he's only on loan.
Yeah.
So right,
don't worry about that.
It's the first time that rule's ever helped us instead of hurting us.
I know. Hello all. Congrats, Danielle. I converted my 16-year-old grandson last weekend from a Glory supporting Man U fan to a Geordie after last win because I give my home shirt to him. Well, I wouldn't say Man United are Glory supporters at the minute. They haven't won now for a long time.
One of the days of that happening.
Yeah. T. Felice says, take my granddad to Palace for his first time in many, many years.
Lovely.
Looking forward to this game more than I ever have. Made me night, Danielle. Cannot wait for the crown. I miss our Lizzie so much. Still doesn't feel real.
I know. I've heard it's going to be very controversial, this series. So
well, it will, because it'll cover Diana's death, won't it? So
and
it's
Prince Philip, apparently. God rest his soul. I'm just saying that.
Yes. I'm trying to. Yeah. Sorry. Is that how you pronounce it, Alex? Down your
Wait, that's not how I speak, but.
It's not how one speaks, okay. Mark Cooper says the crown more important than the Toon, Danielle? Never in a million years.
Well, I might, like I say, I'll watch it up to the build-up, and then at an appropriate moment, I'll pause it, and then I'll watch the game.
It'll be Billy on commentary for that game on here.
I can't miss Billy Bob, can I?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the crown, you can watch it at any point in the day, can't you?
Yeah, but I'll have been awake all day, won't I?
It's not like a live. It's not a live
Hang on a minute.
thing.
Is Alex having a dig at Queen Danielle there? I mean, it's normally me that gets it. He's getting a little confident, this kid.
I let him go because he's like my brother. So.
Right. So what does that say for me?
If you could pause and rewind all the football, then fine. But I can't.
I mean, I'll be watching the game. I'm just saying that the 9th of November is a very important day for other reasons also. And if
just a double header, it means you've got 2 great things to watch.
And if my boss is watching, I absolutely won't be watching the crown during working hours.
No, absolutely not. Danielle does not do that.
No.
Francisco says, just saw some of the comments at the beginning of the chat. Massive congrats, Danielle, and lots of blessings and happiness.
Thank you.
Mike Myers says, Man United will hammer you lot. You have no chance. Here he is again. Yeah.
Okay, hon.
No problem. Spike says, that famous diet, shit yourself thin. Oh, dear God. Oh, wow.
What do you think it was? Do you think it's something you'd eaten, Billy, or what?
I don't know. I've got a clue. I have no idea. It just, when that thing appears in your tummy, you think, I've got to get there quick.
Yeah.
And I think I've like you saying, but Bolt's world record running down the street to get home.
Was it like a scene out of Alien, Billy?
Oh, all right. We don't need to go that far.
I did look a fecal Jackson Pollock. That's what it was like.
Oh.
I'm just confused why we're getting trolled by Mike Myers.
Oh, he trolls her.
Why not?
Who cares? Let him.
Shouldn't he be busy
Almost
with Laurie
Halloween.
Strode?
Well, he should
Halloween.
be busy getting his pumpkin ready and stuff, shouldn't he? Yeah. Norvik says, I have stood on that pitch and I've never been to a colder place in my life. The only time that BGT did the auditions outdoors on a freezing cold day. Well, really, Britain's Got Talent. There you go.
What was Norvik doing? What was he?
Yeah, you'd have to let us know what you did, Norvik. You know.
Yeah. Did you do magic?
If we ever do a Toon Review's Got Talent, you know, then we could.
There's no magic at Old Trafford. I won't worry about
No
that.
talent, yeah. Trust us.
Give over. You'll have a talent. Okay.
Watch the Crown and the football at the same time. That's a talent for starters.
Yes, but not during working hours, Billy.
No.
Not during working hours.
No, absolutely not.
Because
No,
we don't
no,
play
no,
football during working hours, do we?
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely not. Tom says it's very different to Ashley. I don't know how I feel. Excellent that the club are being collaborative. If there's a name change, it must include St James's Park. The name dates to 1542. That's 480 years.
Very valid point, Tom. Very valid.
As we might expect from Tom. Yep. Samsonite says, wouldn't mind an official name like Aramco Park St James's, for example. Well, Aramco St James's Park sounds all right. I'd be happy with that. Jacka, hang on, wait till I get my buttons right. Evening team, hope everyone's well and congratulations, Danielle. And a win at the weekend to put the icing on the cake. How are the lads? Mark says, hey ye lot, hope you're all healthy and well. Thank you, mate. Jim says, Mike Myers, you're on a Toon channel, says it all. Your team don't have a channel to watch. Enjoy your evening.
Well, because he's American, technically, isn't he? So
wow.
Watching the wrong football.
I have a feeling he isn't. I have a feeling he's in a very dark room, Alex. I don't like it. However, if the fans are consulted and it's going to bring decent revenue, then okay. It'd still be St James's Park to me. I'd be more open to it if it was a brand new stadium. Well, the way it's going, I think that,
I wouldn't. I don't want to move.
No, and I think they're looking at extending St James's, to be honest. And
they did the interview with the Athletic literally 6 months ago, saying we will not move. So there's no way in the same year they're going to backtrack on that.
Yeah, good point. Well said.
Unless there's trust involved in the decision making.
Unless, oh God, yeah. Who does U-turns more than a car? John Bruce says, Mr. Myers, your club has had its day. It's our time now. We are coming for you. Be afraid. Be very afraid. I don't think he supports Man United. I just think he's a troll. Up the Mags. Do you think Eddie will keep the same team as last weekend? No, I don't. But we'll see when we do our team predictions. Samsonite says, the irony is that Eddie had means United in Arabic. So Man City play at the United Stadium. I did read that once, actually.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Angelica, good evening. I hope you're really well, and I hope things are going okay for you after the awful news the other week. And I'm glad you're still tuning in to us, and we give you a bit of relief from it. So
we're thinking of you.
Head up. We are, definitely. Josh says, what did City... We did to City what United couldn't. Can't wait for the game. Adam, I completely agree. Trippier is an incredible defender and player, easily one of the bargains of the year. You're still convinced he's lost a bit of pace, though, Billy?
He has. He's definitely lost a yard, but it doesn't seem to affect him because his brain's that ahead of the game. He knows where to be, when to be there, when to make tackles, when not to, and he's also brilliant at getting us on the front foot, isn't he? So, yeah, he's not convinced himself as a player
at the moment. It does look like he's potentially going to be England's right back for the World Cup, which I don't mind him being in the squad. But if we do get out of our group and end up playing 5 or 6 games total, we just don't want him to break.
Don't worry about that, Alex. That's not going to happen.
Well, I'm going to say, Alex, come on. I think that's a little bit optimistic, mate. 6 or 7 games.
Well, I mean,
unless you include
we really should get out of that group.
No, but not if he makes the decisions he made before, though.
Exactly. We could be looking.
But I mean, we even with Southgate, we can turn it on. We got, what was it, 3-3 against Germany. We can turn it on even with a poor manager and poor tactics.
Yeah, but it took him to make some attacking substitutions to change that against a better team. We could. They will
take note of the fact that pressing and being more aggressive got the 3-3. So if we play 3 games, get out the group, play another 1 or 2. It's very possible.
I mean, who's the next
doesn't
taxi
mean
in
we're
the
going to be
rank?
any good.
Who's the next taxi in the rank? We've had a squad with 4 right backs in before. Now we're down to 1. Who's going to be the reserve? I mean, would it be just Leicester or something like that? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Walker Peters or
Possibly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody like that, maybe. I don't know.
My target. Anyway, let's listen. Sunday's game, I think, and I don't know what you guys think, but I think is going to be won and lost in midfield. And Danielle, I'm particularly looking forward to the battle that we're going to have in midfield. You know, we got the 2 Brunos going at it.
One Bruno and the substitute Bruno.
Indeed. And I think the black and white Bruno is going to come out on top in that battle, because I think, as well as if he brings Joe Linton back, I think Joe Linton will rattle Bruno Fernandes, and we know what he's like for sulking, crying on at the referee all the time. It affects his game. I was on with the Aussie lads this morning.
I know, I watched it. Not when I was at work, obviously.
Yeah, and you know, Robbie, bless him, he did admit that Bruno's not having his best season, and it took him a lot to admit to that. But I
know
got the
there's some quite strong banter on that show, isn't it? Quite strong.
Yeah, they're a good bunch, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're a good bunch. But I think if we get stuck into their midfield and we put them off their game, we've got a lot of pace, you know, up front, and so have Man United. But I think if we win the midfield game, we've got the opportunity, Danielle.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of creativity from midfield, but I think let's just hope Bruno's good lady doesn't have a baby this weekend.
Yeah, that is the thing, because she is due to give birth. So, you know, let's just let's hope little Bruno either comes, you know, tomorrow, or he decides to let his dad play on Sunday, and he comes on Monday. That would be great. A win over Man United, and then a little Geordie Bruno, because obviously he's going to. His dad's already said he's going to be a Geordie, so there you go.
I think we've got a lot of creativity. I'm not worried about our midfield at all. I think we'll more than match them.
Yeah.
In that area, and if you know, we've got Big Joe as backup as well. Depending on what Eddie's going to do, because I've got no idea. I just don't know what he's going to do.
And he'll not give anything away tomorrow morning. No. We know he won't. But I mean, it'll
be a 1 o'clock job on Sunday, won't it?
Oh yeah. We won't know anything at 1 o'clock. Billy, just before we go to Alex and his graphics, obviously, where do you stand on the midfield? Because it's going to be quite exciting, isn't it? I think the game's actually been quite an open attacking game. That's why I'm looking forward to it. With the amount of pace that's on the pitch, we should get a cracker. But where do you stand on the midfield?
I think it'll be a massive part of the game, but I think the most important part of the game is how Manchester United, who are notoriously bad at dealing with the high press, deal with our high press, which is more ferocious and venomous than any of the press in the league, maybe aside from Man City's. And I can't see them dealing with it. I really can't. That's why I think the game.
I like the way you said venomous, more venomous than any team. It's like with some kind of, you know, snake going in there like a rattlesnake ready to pounce.
Well, they won't let anything lie, will they? They're just on the case, full stop, for 90 minutes. And as I said before, Manchester United are notoriously bad at dealing with it. Let's hope that continues, and I think it will continue, because ours is, as I said, our press is as ferocious as anything else in the league.
Yeah. Right. By the way, I'm shit scared of snakes. I don't know why I keep referring to snakes, because I hate them. Yeah, I've got fish that bite, but listen, snakes bite and snakes kill, right? That's the difference here, unless you got piranhas or something. But you know, anyway, we've got over 700 watching. Thank you so much for that on a Thursday night. We really do appreciate that. So if you are enjoying the show, guys, please don't forget to all hit that like button. In fact, why not do it now? Just everyone watching, just hit the like button, and that will do us a massive favor, pushing us up that search results and telling YouTube this is a fantabuloso channel and it's going places. And also, if you're new and you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button. Of course, it's free to do so. Become a member of this brilliant community, and hit that notification bell as well, which will let you know when we upload or we go live. And as so many brilliant people have already done, you can donate to the channel if you do so wish by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you through. Now, we do have merchandise as well, so this is where you can get that. Have a little browse.
So let's get down to business.
I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it. Now, I've been waiting. Think I'm gonna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it.
Let's get down to business.
So there you go, guys. The toonreview.co.uk is the place to go for your March. Spike Milligan, thank you very much for your 20 quid super chat, buddy. Really kind, and thank you for your continued support. 3-1 Newcastle. How are the lads and lasses? I think that's caught on, Billy, your quote, you know. Lots of people saying that.
Can I just say one thing? Can I
Indeed.
just give it Michael Marsden a massive shout out, please?
You can, of
Because
course.
we obviously went to the women's game on Sunday, and what a laugh we had all afternoon on Sunday. What great company that man is. He's
He
just
is.
the absolute legend. Sit with his Crocs on, like
The man loves his Crocs, man. Yeah, honestly,
we had
the
such a
man.
laugh.
Listen, if the company Crocs is out there, right, get in touch, because I have a man that will gladly be sponsored by yourselves.
We're talking about black and white Crocs at the
Yes,
game, because
yes.
we were saying that obviously Michael could tell the weather by what footwear he's wearing. So you know, if he's wearing his Crocs, you know it's quite a warm day. So he said he would love to have some black and white ones. So
Toon Review Crocs. Hey, Suzette, there you go. Toon Review Crocs. That'd be incredible. Angelica says, I'm doing canny, organising the hubby's funeral. I've told everyone to wear their own team colours. He loved Liverpool, but I refuse to wear anything but Toon colours. Well, that's brilliant. And that's really good, isn't it? Because it kind of sort of lightens it up a little bit through all the you know, the pain and darkness. And you're doing right by doing that. And that sounds really terrific thing that you're doing, actually. Stephen says, don't do it, Danielle or Paul. It's horrific. Thank God the wife's not watching. Oh, dear me. Wow. Geordie Toon for Life says, what Alex is saying is we become a back three of centre-backs when attacking. As Trippier goes further up the pitch, becoming a 4 in midfield when attacking, then a back 4 when defending. Phew. Yes, exactly. Right, Alex. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, so you guys mentioned about it being 1 in midfield. I'm not so sure about that. I think it's going to be feeling out whether they want to try and have possession as the home team, or whether we try and want to be brave and try and take possession as the away team.
Just a quick one, Alex. Is that your predicted lineup?
No. So this is our previous games lineup.
Okay.
And Man United's lineup here is the one they're playing tonight in the Europa League.
Right.
So this is just for a bit of context. We can swap things over. We've got all the spare players here. So we talked about midfield. I'm not so sure it's going to be as much of a midfield issue. I think it's going to be one team is going to want to try and wrestle possession, or it's going to be a bit of both. I think it's going to be more about the transitions. And I think it's really going to be about who sets up correctly. I think a lot of this is going to be down to coaching staff and management on both sides. It's going to be a bit of a bluff. Who's going to want to try and have more possession? Who's going to try and be more dominant in transitions and counterattacks? And how they're going to line up specifically against that. So they do have counter-attacking threat in Rashford and Anthony and Ronaldo to an extent, and Alanga as well, and Sancho on the bench. I haven't even got Alanga here. I should have put him on. So they've got a lot of speed and a lot of counter-attacking threat. So it's no joke. It's no pushover. We can't get caught because it's quite easy, especially at home. If they try and get a goal, if they go 1-0 up and try and be quite compact, this is not Brentford. And as much as people mock Man United, this is not the same Man United team from 8 weeks ago. It's just not. They've signed 3, 4, 5 new players. They're not playing as badly. Fair enough, they're not winning in the Europa League at the moment, as far as I'm aware. But they do have a lot of different options.
Well, you see a lot of different. There's not much they can do to make that team any. I know that Eriksen and Sancho probably are the two that I can think of, but apart from that, where does the lineup change?
Partnering Martinez is a very solid centre-back partnership. Dalot has improved phenomenally and is having a much better. He's had a much better few weeks. Rashford looks a lot more confident. This is what I mean. This is what I mentioned at the start of the show.
Yeah,
I'm really frustrated that it's starting to improve for Man United as we play them. I still think we've got the better team in terms of how we're playing at the moment. The form of the whole team is so much better and the dynamic is so much better. But it's just a little bit frustrating that they're finding their feet as we go and play them at their own ground. Like we could have done with this 3 or 4 weeks ago.
We'll just burst that bubble, Alex.
If we'd have played them before or after Man City, I think we absolutely blow them out of the water.
But I want to beat a full strength Man United. I want to beat them when they're at the best. To be fair. So I can say,
there's diplomatic Danielle's out the window this weekend without a shadow of a doubt.
So let's say, for example, they are going to make some changes. You could argue that Lindelof is going to drop for Varane. I think that's a fair thing to suggest. Malacia for sure as well, and then potentially.
I won't be disappointed with that because Luke Shaw's out of form, bang out of form, and he still is.
I would be happy with Shaw coming in, most definitely. Miggy lining up against Shaw.
Miggy will have his life.
Very good. So Eriksen, I mean, they've played a lot of minutes. They've played. Anthony's played a lot recently. He played against Ammonia, then Everton, and Ammonia again, and then us. So if he plays against us, I'm not so sure he will. I don't think he's got. Maybe he will, but it's a lot of games. It's a lot of games.
He's their talisman at the minute. He'll play. He's their talisman.
I think he will.
So I think either Anthony or Rashford's got a drop for a Sancho. I think one of them's got a drop, unless Ten Hag is just willing to just keep playing the same people again.
Unless
and
he
again
puts
and again.
Rashford up front and drops Ronaldo,
which is another possibility. You know, they've got a variation of things they can do. I think one of these two will drop. The double pivot will drop for Eriksen potentially, whether that's Casemiro or Fred, not sure. It's likely they'll stick to their 4-2-3-1 and play it like this. Although Eriksen's been playing it, he's done some weird stuff recently. Ten Hag is really using him. Like he's been up as a false 9 at points in this season, and he's also done a John Joe Shelby role where he drops in between the centre backs as an anchor, kind of like how we've seen Shelby.
Has he not played that old quality position of a false 10, Alex?
Well, yeah, no, we're not Steve Bruce in him, but he's played absolutely everywhere. It's bizarre, and he could play in the 10 as well. Arguably, he's not got the legs to play slightly further out, but he could play in a number of positions. But I would expect him to be just in a double pivot if he plays, because Fernandes is always going to start up here.
Yeah.
So it depends what we want to do. If we want to keep the same lineup as was nicely explained, it's probably going to look a bit more sort of Miggy really high and Trippier kind of joining. Quite often Longstaff drops a little bit deeper to allow Bruno to go further forward. We might not be able to do that in this game though. So it might look sort of like this in a wonky way. It doesn't look exactly like this. I'm just trying to cram it onto our half of the pitch for visualization purposes. So this is if we're going to go with the burn as the left back. This is kind of what we tried to do against Brentford, and it worked really, really well. To be fair, Murphy was also really high up. And then if we do want to do all of our changes, so what is it? Joe Linton are we saying Longstaff? I think that's the general consensus is, and then Willett goes back on his right hand side, and then Burn for Mr. Target back in, and then it goes to a slightly more generic
Murphy out for
Saint,
and then Murphy for Saint. There we go. So that is what people would generally expect to be the other lineup. So I think one of these lineups plays on Sunday and one of these plays against Everton. It's just which way around is he going to do it? Or he could surprise us all and bring somebody like Lascelles in, because he did it against Liverpool very unexpectedly.
He did, yeah.
So we know you guys talked about, is he going to make a surprise change? It's very possible. I was not expecting Lascelles to come in against Liverpool, and he did. So, there's a few, and Isak on the bench potentially might come on later on. You never know. My preference, I'm really stuck because I really like this whole tactical thing that he's got going on, what we did against Brentford.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really want to see Joe Linton and Maxi on the pitch. And I think if we see Joe Linton and Maxi, we're probably going to have Target back. Has he played enough minutes? Maybe. But the benefit of this game is the new 5 subs rule is really going to help us. So,
I was going to say, do you think you'll play one team? You'll start off with maybe the previous winning team and then make the changes there, like second half, and bring on Target, Maxi and Joe.
Exactly. I mean, this is the great thing about all the lads being really fit is whichever way around we do this, we've got 5 subs. So we could absolutely cane it, and we could bring on a very, very hungry, fit Longstaff and Murphy, who we know have got a lot of legs at the moment. They're very fit, fitter than they've ever been, arguably. We could also bring Anderson into the equation as well, who can be a nuisance in the final 20 minutes of the game. Won us a penalty in pre-season against a good Bilbao side, to be fair. So we've got still not amazing for the depth. I mean, unless we bring Fraser on as well or Wood. But yeah, I still think having these kinds of 4 players down in this bottom left is going to help. But I think it's going to be one of 2 things: that either the first one we did against Brentford, or it'll be these better players. Well, I say better, that's a bit harsh, but higher skill ceiling, shall we say. And then I think Joe Linton coming in will help mitigate sort of defensive problems Anthony may cause, because Dallo and Anthony are playing quite well. We do have to be careful about their transitions. They're not a terrible side. They're playing slightly better. They're still up where they are in the league. They're fit. I think they're 5th. I think we got pushed down to 6th. So they're not like where Liverpool are. They are a lot higher up, and they're playing slightly better football. It's starting to improve. So we're going to
beat them.
Yeah, I think we need to go there knowing we're a good team. Yeah. That we do have some of the best sort of turnover rates and pressing in the league. We've got some of the best XG. We're playing great football. We've got some really good players. So we've got to go there knowing that we're good. Yeah, we can't be scared. But at the same time, we can't underestimate them. We've got to be careful. They've still got some talent. If 3 or 4 of their big hitters turn up and play good football, which they can, it's going to be a really hard game for us. So we've got to treat them with some respect.
And I think we will. I don't think they're going to turn up I don't think we'll turn up cocky and be like, oh, I mean, I'll be cocky, because I can.
But for the first time ever, we've always generally talked about Maxi being the threat on the left side. Yeah. I generally think the biggest threat is going to be Miggy on Luke Shaw if Luke Shaw plays.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's going to be the main part to focus on. I think that's
what Eddie will be working on. I do think he'll target that side. It doesn't
Luke
matter
Shaw
who's playing there.
Passing back to De Gea, I want Miggy there all day long. That's what he was born to do. Is going to hoover up those two's unconfident little back passes. That's what he was born to do, essentially.
100%. By the way, guys, just to let you know, we do have a little bit of new merch, which isn't on the website yet, but it's going on. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but it's a car sticker.
Lovely.
So it's like those baby on board things, except it's the Toon Review, and it says find us on YouTube at the Toon Review. So they'll be going on. They'll be going on the website very, very shortly. If you want to have one in the back of your motor vehicle. Jazril says, hello from Malaysia. Glad I found this channel. Been watching you guys since the takeover. Keep up the great work. 2-0 to the Toon. How are the lads? Dan says, need to start collecting some bigger scalps. This one would be particularly satisfying. It would.
I did have a final point to make, and that kind of builds on that comment as well.
Yeah.
We've not really played too many teams in and around where we're trying to challenge for yet either, apart from maybe Brighton. We've played some teams who are lower down in the league, and we've played some arguably people who are trying to challenge for the title, which was Liverpool and is Manchester City. So, people challenging for that sort of 6 to 8 is where we want. That's where we want to be. Man United is in that bracket. So, we've still got to wait to play some of the other teams. But this is a good litmus test for us. So we know we can play up to teams of sort of City's caliber, but this is important.
V says, how are people buying tickets for the ladies at St. James's? Keep checking this website, and they're not there. They are, V, because what you need to do is go to the tickets, then click on home tickets, and at the very top, you'll see NUFCW. If you click on that, that will then take you to the tickets for the ladies' game. So they definitely are on there. Michael Marsden couldn't find them either. I had to buy his tickets. So they are on there, though. Don't worry. Graham says, well, I predicted 3-0 for the last game. So I'm guessing 5-1 to the Toon again. He is hoping come on the Toon. 5, I mean, that would just be a dream. That would just be an absolute dream. Right. It is that time of the show where we either go crazy or we don't. We'll start with you, Alex. What is your lineup for Sunday?
That's a tricky one. I think he's going to play exactly the same team he did against Brentford.
Really?
I think he'd be tempted to play Joe Linton and Maxi and stuff, but I just think he does this every time. He does this every time where we fully expect changes and he just doesn't make them.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Maybe. I think it would make a lot of sense for him to do it. So if it's going to be the Brentford, it would be Pope, Byrne, Botman, Cher, Trippier, Bruno, Longstaff, Willock, and then Murphy, Wilson, and Miggy. So I'm 50-50 as to what he's going to do. And because I'm undecided, I'm just going to go with what he played against Brentford because he normally does it. So
I'll be absolutely staggered if he plays the same team. I
really will. But you need to trust him.
Oh yeah,
you've got to remember that the people who we are talking about maybe not playing, like Murphy, he scored. So it makes.
I think the key thing is the Everton game 3 days later.
Yes.
Everton are going to come to St James's Park and park the bus. We're going to need a more creative place for that game, I think. And I think what Alex is saying actually makes sense.
Yeah, maybe.
Johnny Metal, thank you for your 20 quid. Thank you for your continued support, buddy. There's no comment there, but thank you very much. Billy, what's your team?
I think, I'll come in here tonight expecting to say Maxi, Joe Linton will come back in, but now I'm thinking about the Everton game 3 days after that, and their approach to that game, Everton's, will be to get 11 men behind the ball, and I think we'll need the pace and the skill of Maxi in that game. I tend to agree with Alex. I think we might keep it and change the lineup.
Ooh, didn't expect you guys to say that. Danielle, how about you?
Yeah, I think the same. I think they'll be the same team.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think they will.
Dear God. Well, he is my team. I think he will change it. And I think it'll be Nick Pope, Trippier, Cher, Botman. Left back, I think he will go with Matty Target. Midfield, Willock, Joe Linton, Bruno. Up front, Maxi Wilson and Miggy. I think he goes for it. I really do think that Eddie will be thinking along the lines of, this is our best opportunity to get someone to Man United. I'm playing my best team. Yes, we've got Everton 3 days later, but we've got another team that he could change it up for Everton, no problem at all, and we can still beat Everton because they're shit. But I really think he'll go with Man United, and the fact that he could have Isak on the bench as well gives him another option for later on in the game. So I'm going for top team. I'm going for our best starting lineup. So
out of those three, Target, Joe Linton, Maxi, I think the most likely of the three to get in, I think, is Joe Linton in place of Longstaff to do the wide left cover against Anthony.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a mix.
Maybe he might just change one, or it might not be two separate lineups. He might just tweak one, maybe.
Well, look, that's why everybody has an opinion, because it's at the end of the day, it's down to Eddie Howe, isn't it? That's what he's paid the money for, and that's the headache he faces this weekend, is who to bring in and who not to. But I think he goes for it, mate. But we'll just, again, who knows with Eddie Howe, because, we could all be wrong, because he might just slip a couple more changes in that we just were not expecting. Like you said, Jamal Lascelles, Alex, you just never know.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah,
it's these kind of decisions that make me question what he's going to do. I in the past I would have gone for the same team you've picked, Paul, but his recent decision making has made me question the way he's going to go.
I don't think he'll bring Lascelles in.
Well, it's whatever he's been working. It's been whatever he's been working in and training, isn't it? I mean, he you know what he's like. He'll have been meticulous with his training this week. He'll have been 100% focused on Manchester United and nothing else. He won't be looking at the
1-0.
Billy's doing his. Give us a clue again.
Marcus Rashford scored.
Okay. Well, I hope he runs himself into the ground tonight. At the end of the day,
he's missed. What are you celebrating for? He's missed. It's gone wide. He's running around celebrating, and it's gone wide. Twat.
Wow. Okay.
Alex, are you watching the game?
No, I switched it off to do the pitch side view. I'll have to put it back on. He
literally ran round in front of the crowd, past the goalkeeper, so he scored, and I'm going 1-0, 1-0, and I've tried to replay. It's gone about 10 yards wide. Twat.
Wow.
Interesting. Anyway, now it's the score predictions. Stato, what are you going with?
I'm going to go with 3-2 to us. I think there's going to be goals. I think there's going to be a lot of transitions. I think they're gonna get a goal on the counter attack, whether it's Anthony or Rashford or just some. They'll just find a bit of space and they'll get a goal from a counter attack, and it'll be frustrating. And then I think they might get a penalty or a set piece or something a bit scrappy for their goals. And then I think our 3 goals will be much the same sort of goals we scored against Fulham and Brentford. I think we're just going to work them well. I'd see another goal from a corner and then maybe 2 nice ones from open play. Just really, really good wing play and getting people involved. Maybe Callum back on the score sheet, possibly. I'm going to go for 3-2. I think it's going to be a really high energy game and exciting.
Okay, Billy Bob.
Irrespective of which lineup we put out, I'll see us winning the game 3-1. I just think we'll have too much pressure for them. We're going to harass their back line to high heaven. The goalkeeper's not great with his feet either. So I'll see us scoring goals that way and set pieces too. With Martinez at the back and Varane, they're not the tallest in the world. I think we can get goals. That set piece was as well.
Awesome. Right. Come on, Danielle.
I'm going to go Manchester United 2, Newcastle United 4.
Whoa. That's a lot of goals.
Yeah. I was going to go 3-2, but, Alex stole it. So I had to think of something.
Actually, who's your goal scorers, Danielle? Because we forgot to
I
ask you
don't care. Anyone.
Okay.
Really. From either side. I'll take any goal.
Okay. That's fair enough. Alex?
I think Wilson will get maybe 1 or 2, and then Willock. It's going to be Willock. It's going to be Willock and Wilson. I'm not sure in which combination, but
I really want Willock to get one though, because he's been banging on the door.
Absolutely.
But it wouldn't surprise me if Miggy did something, whether it was a goal or an assist, just purely based on harassing Luke Shaw and De Gea. I think he's going to be a nuisance.
Billy, who's your scorers?
Wilson, Willock, and I think maybe one from Botman from a corner.
About time, yeah. A lot of people saying 2-1 Newcastle. There's a few 2-2s, 1-1s in there. Julie J's going 4-2 as well. Godfather says 1-0. V says, go on, Danielle. Quite a few of us with 4-2 prediction. Let's have it. Kieran says 1-1. Miggy to score. 3-1 to the Toon. Man United 2, Newcastle United, beautiful bastards 4, says Rochi. So there is a lot of confidence going into this game. For me, I am going with Manchester United 1, Newcastle 2. And I do believe that I'm going with Miggy and Callum Wilson to get the goals. So listen, it's positive. We're all going for a win at Old Trafford, which is very bizarre in itself, because I don't think we've ever done that. But that is just the where we are at the minute. Carlos is
now
going
is the
5-3.
time. Now is the time, though. I feel.
Do you want to give a speech, like a U.S. presidential speech, Danielle? Like a speech from Independence Day. We will not go quietly into the night.
Well, no, I don't think I need to, because I think this is the mindset we have now. I don't think we need to have big, inspirational, motivational talks before a game. I think this is just the mindset we have. We are born winners now. We fight for every ball. We press.
Yeah.
Like, come on, the Saudi Max.
Yes, let's do it.
At this point, we're inevitable now. Whether we win this one or not, we're going to be dominant against them, whether it starts on Sunday or whether it starts, in April when we play them at St. James's. We are going to start battering them consistently, whether it starts soon or in a bit. It's irrelevant.
Can't wait for those days.
If Joe Linton does play, I'm expecting a massive performance from him, because this could be the game that gets him to the World Cup squad, playing against people that are already in that squad.
He's on a big stage on Sunday, isn't he? So, yeah, absolutely. So there you go, guys. That is our predictions and possible team lineups. As you see, very different opinions on the team. Well, 3-1 on the team difference. But we'll see what Eddie Howe says in his press conference tomorrow. Don't forget, I'll be bringing a video out with the press conference reaction. You can catch that round about noon tomorrow by the time I get it edited and uploaded. So that should be out tomorrow lunchtime, and we'll see what the gaffer has to say. Whether there's any big news about injuries or anything like that, you'll hear it here first. And of course, don't miss tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, TTR Friday. It is welcome to the weekend again. And Saint or no Saint will be back, or Saint or ain't, sorry. God knows what Billy's coming up with tomorrow night. But listen, if you want to start your weekend with a big laugh, that's the place to be on TTR Friday. You'll get a little sing-song, you'll get jokes, you'll get Alex actually being in a jokey mood, and he'll be sarcastic, no doubt, again tomorrow night. He's revving up the night already for
Weekend.
it. So
I'll be finished work, so it'll be fine.
yeah, there you go.
I'll have a beverage.
Yeah. So will we have a rant from Danielle tomorrow night?
Depends what happens between now and tomorrow.
Okay. But who knows? But anyway, we will be here at 8 o'clock. And then on Sunday, of course, from what will it be? It'll be 2:30. No, it won't be 2:30. It'll be 1:30, sorry. Join me live for the watch along. Half an hour build up of the match, going through team news, etc. And then live commentary the 90 minutes from 2 o'clock. So really looking forward to that. It should be a cracking weekend, but start the weekend off the right way and watch TDR Friday tomorrow. So we'll see you at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, guys. Until then, have a great Friday. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses.